Transmissions Trips to the Store video has been brought to you with the help of listeners like you.
Without Patreon support, Transmissions wouldn't be the show it is today. You can sign up for our Patreon at www.transmissionspodcast.com/support.
Welcome to the Transmissions Trips to the Store, where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. This video is part of our weekly Transmissions podcast. You can check us out at www.transmissionspodcast.com. We do two shows a week every Wednesday and Friday. Every Wednesday, it's Transmissions, the toy show, the flagship. We talk all about Transformers toys. Trips to the Store is a part of that. So you're watching and listening to this. That's part of Transmissions. And then every Friday, Transmissions Alt Mode, all about comics and media, because we love Transformers comics and we like talking about Transformers media too. So check those out and, keep listening. And we are completely supported by our listeners. No. By our listeners via Patreon and PayPal. And thank you to everyone who contributes. They just recently unlocked Transmissions Declassified with over 60 Patreons, so that's awesome. We're going to keep doing that. And we're going to keep trying to bring more fun stuff for everyone who contributes to the show. So be on the lookout for more stuff. All right, this week we do have a special guest. We have Andrew from the Audio Nights Theater. Thank you for joining us, Andrew.
Hey, no problem. Great to be here, guys.
All right, and we'll get to you and your haul. I know you haven't been on the show. I think you were on the show like a couple years ago. So
the whole conclave was on, and I didn't do video because it was right before I was going to get married. So like literally like 2 days before it or something. So
like you were in your tux and you were on the way.
I got married in St. Lucia, so I actually didn't have to wear a tux. I wore something else, which was pretty nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
wow.
That worked out well.
Suit.
That's right. Take it.
This is what you get. I'm sorry.
For a minute there, Canada was looking appealing to me, Darryl, and now not so much.
Women can go topless here if they want to, Yoshi.
They can go topless in my house too if they want to.
They can go topless anywhere if they want.
All right, this is going a little bit off track here. we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Transformers. You can go
twice.
You
you said that, Charles.
Thank you, Yoshi.
You're welcome.
Well, Yoshi, since you decided to interrupt lots of times, let's start with you. What do you got for this week?
Well, I'm back from DC. I pulled a Shelton while I was in DC, and I haven't opened up my Twin Twist yet. So I have Titans Return Twin Twist. I'm super excited, but not excited enough to open it. How dedicated I've been to making sure the video gets done quickly that I haven't played with anything I bought. This is also the only toy I bought. So, what I'm not going to show you is that I also, like 2 seconds into the show floor, I found Devastator gift set manual that I needed and didn't need but bought anyways was an unused sticker sheet for the Devastator gift set for the G1. That was super cool. I'm super happy to have
open that. I want to see it.
I'm not showing it because I don't have it in front of me.
I want to see. Open it up and unfold it.
Yeah.
Put it on the screen. I want to.
Yeah. As Charles knows, I like to deface my Regeneration 1 issue 100 comic book with famous signatures. I've decided to not show that book. Instead, I've showed a new one I've started. So I've got, what is it? Jack Angel.
Jack Angel
and Neil Ross.
Voice actors of the G1 cartoon who have nothing to do with the comics.
So fucking bitter you are. Rage and hate you have.
It
Just
serves as a
pointing out
medium. Serves as a
Just
medium
pointing out
for
the
Yoshi
absurdity,
to
that's
collect
all.
the signatures on.
I'll never make him happy. It's like my own dad. I just can't do it. I asked Josh Burcham, who is a Transformers artist. You may have heard of him. I asked him to do a Tesla Roadster as an Autobot.
Oh, that's
cool.
fantastic!
Yeah.
Wow.
He did something very interesting that isn't done very often, I don't think. But he made the chest of this guy the ass end of the Tesla Roadster, which I thought was funny. And maybe through Coinky Dink, maybe not, but the face kind of looks like me.
I think that was intentional.
Probably. So I now have a Tesla Autobot added to my arsenal of original content that will take over the world.
Looks like a terrorist.
Oh, God.
I commissioned
Terrible.
the Hasbro exec guy, that's his name's slipping my mind.
Aaron Archer.
Aaron Archer to do a piece. I think I'm the only one that may have commissioned something from him at the convention, and he worked at it the whole time, and he still wasn't done. So that's getting mailed to me. Matt Moylan misplaced his passport, so he wasn't able to bring my commission, so I still don't have that to show. If you gentlemen will look quickly at the Discord chat, I sent this image to Casey Collar.
Okay, yeah.
Which is Todd McFarlane's Batman and Spawn covers. I asked him to swap out Batman with Coronation Starscream, and he did so amazingly well.
Oh, wow.
I am absolutely in love with this. He made one of Cybertron's moons, one of the moons in the background. He replaced the bats with the tapes. This is just freakishly gorgeous. He far exceeded what I expected.
Even put his signature in a Decepticon symbol instead of the bat or Spawn skull. That's awesome.
Right. Thank you, Andrew, for being very appreciative of my commission.
No problem.
So you see Andrew reflected in the
great.
Because he's talking to me. He's impressed.
I am. I saw that live at TFcon. It's amazing looking.
Thank you. You're my new best friend. Fuck the rest of you two.
Yoshi
All right.
Tweet out an image of that cover. That's pretty awesome.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. And while I'm looking for this, that is off the top of my head pretty much everything I got. Most of my time was spent doing transmissions related recordings and interviews and not sleeping. So yeah.
Nice.
I win. Who's next? Is it you, Charles?
No, I'm gonna give it to our guest, Andrew.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna show off what I got at TFcon. So first thing I'll show, I got the Calidus SG right here. This is the Shadow Ghost, they called it. And I did take him out for a second, but I put him right back. But he has, the nice goatee on his face, and he's black.
That's pretty awesome looking.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
For the audio-only listeners, tell us who that figure is.
Oh, okay. It's basically Shattered Glass Rodimus, but it's the More Than Meets the Eye style Rodimus. So they did him in black and purple, and instead of his normal face, he has a goatee, kind of like the old mirror universe from Star Trek. If you have a goatee, it's the evil version of you. So they kind of copied that in the old comics, I think, something like that. So they did that for the exclusive at TFcon DC. So I picked that up, and yeah, my group was my friends and I were actually the second people in line until a bunch of people cut in front of us, but that's how we were able to get that. Then Another thing I picked up, which I am super duper happy with, X-Transbots Klaatu. It's a Masterpiece styled Cosmos. Now, the only other X-Transbots figure I've ever had was Apollyon, and I sold him. Mine had less problems than most other people's from what I hear, but he just got kind of loose over time. This, however, feels amazing. This is like it came from a different company. I mean, this thing is tight, has, you know, ratchet joints, if you can hear that, and just fantastic paint job. He does have a little bit of a backpack, but not too bad. But yeah, I love this guy. Really fun transformation. Everything locks together really well. I mean, look at that face. How can you not love that?
Aww.
He's huge.
Yeah.
You should
he's
see
shorter
Andrew's
than
hands.
but he's shorter than like the he's shorter than the Carbots. Like he's he's definitely taller than Bumblebee, but he's a little shorter than like your Prowl or Sideswipe Masterpiece. So to me, that kind of fits in. You know, some people do want him to be Bumblebee's height, so I can understand that. Speaking of mini bots, I got another one at TFcon. I picked up TFcon, which is a Masterpiece style Power Glide. And this thing is pretty fantastic. Everything's really tight on it. Has a nice shiny red paint on it, and has this little gun right there. And you can flip his head around, and there's a slot right there in his face. You can put like the mask from, was it Hoist Goes to Hollywood? Was that the episode with the aliens, I think? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does, in fact, have his little heart right there. And he comes with he has like a little stand, and he actually has whatever her name was that fell in love with him.
The
has
girlfriend.
that. Yeah, she has like the most 80s ritzy sounding name you've ever heard. I forget what it is though. My buddy Drew would know.
Gem.
Well, that would be truly outrageous, but that isn't her name. Yeah, and then another thing I picked up, I was walking around the showroom floor and I tried to get a good deal on something, but I wasn't able to. But then I saw this guy, and his box was a little crushed, so I got a discount on him, which was nice. But this is Mastermind Creations Die Camus. It is a IDW styled Road Buster. I mean, looks pretty similar to his appearance from Last Stand of the Wreckers and Sins of the Wreckers. This guy is enormous. He is huge. If anyone has like MMC's Tarn or Megatron, he's pretty much the same size. But he comes in alt mode in the package, and he takes up the entire package with his alt mode. He is ginormous, and I was, I've heard mixed reviews about him, but I'm really impressed. This guy is badass. I really like him. And Yoshi.
Our listeners should know he looks pretty small in your hands.
And Yoshi, he does have rubber tires. All right, but
Third party for the win.
That's right. I did pick up some art, but it's behind me. I don't want to get it. And I'll give a shout out to my daughter Violet. She's just turned 16 months old. I got her a plushie Windblade, and that's in her room right now. And I'm not going to wake her up to go grab it, but I did give that to her. So that's the other thing I got. And Yoshi gave me a couple transmission stickers and a Value Village pencil. So thank you, Yoshi. Yep, just like that. I felt special getting that. But that's my haul from TFcon.
Nice. Very cool.
Right. Yeah. Oh, he has one. Yeah, Darryl has one too.
We're all
Everyone's
special.
got
That pencil
value
looks
villages.
so big in your hands, Darryl.
All right. I think I'll go next. I have some more stuff from our editor, Mike, who helped us out. These are Magic the Gathering cards, the HASCON exclusives. In the center is Grimlock. That's the one we really care about. I don't know
Very
if you can
nice.
see it because of the glare, but there he is.
Funny story about those cards, Charles. I had to go out and get archival cases for them.
Why would you even open them?
Why?
Because they're not. I don't believe that plastic is good for them.
Okay.
I'm that guy.
You are that guy.
I am that guy.
Decreasing the value to save the value.
I didn't go to TFcon this year, but a friend of the show, Josh Burcham, went with Yoshi, and Yoshi helped me convince Josh to get me one of his art books. Here it is.
Fuck, that got to you fast.
Ooh,
It did.
very nice.
And Josh made me a little sketch. And it's Grimlock partying down with Blaster, playing some tunes there. So
What's it say? I
Grimlock
can't read it.
it says, me Grimlock busting the moves.
Nice.
Oh, and he even
Grimlock-
did the Autobot symbols, kind of imitating Grimlock's face. That's great.
Grimlock and Blaster have patched up their differences, so they're no longer at odds, and they are now partying together. So this was I asked Josh to say, I said I like Grimlock and Blaster, so one or the other, you can pick whatever. And Josh did both because he's that guy. He's super cool.
Plot
So
twist:
thank you,
it's
Josh.
Soundwave.
So thanks, Josh. Yep. All right. So that's my contribution. So let's finish up with Darryl.
Okay, well, was it last week I wasn't here? I don't know. I was here last week.
You were here last week.
Okay. I got a package in the mail from one of our listeners who heard my cries for help getting some figures. So I'm forgetting the name of this guy, but this is from Brad, our listener Brad, who saw that I have this guy and did not have his little crotch flap, his little penis cover, his little penis cover, his little penis chomper.
How do you know it's the cover?
I don't, but I'm just gonna check it out there. Anyway, so Brad nicely sent me one of these. Completed now.
That needs
Which
a little
you gotta tell
sound effect as he moves.
identify that figure.
I
Darryl.
forget the name of it. I have to look it up. One of you guys not doing nothing, look it up.
Sea Wing.
Sea Wing, cool.
I think so.
One of these
But yeah.
Seacons.
That's right.
I had that one growing up.
He
He's cool.
sent me a bunch of other parts in the box, but surprisingly, apparently I had mentioned on the same show that one of the figures that I still don't have for my G1 collection is a blue streak, and I'm not really like searching hard for a blue streak, but because I have a smoke screen and I have a prowl and they're the same mold, and blue streaks that mold is really hard to find, not broken because the windows are terribly, breakable. The roof is always broken. So in the box is a blue streak. I'm like, what the fuck? So he's actually included a blue streak. Now, actually, I had missiles and this busted ass gun for I think it was for a prowl, but they work. They're the same. So I just threw them on here. And the blue streak he sent me had a broken top on it, but I immediately fixed it, like easily done. So yeah, I have a blue streak now, thanks to Brad. You're awesome, Brad. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. It's been like 2 decades since I've actually messed with the blue streak mold. The ones I have are sealed in the commemorative boxes. I don't open them. I have some comics that I wanted to show. This week I was at London Comic Con. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on alt mode. But
London, Ontario Comic Con.
yeah, I didn't fly across the ocean this weekend, just for the weekend. And I picked up, I did a couple things. One, I made a dream come true for my brother, and he helped me secure a signature for one Amy Jo Johnson of the Power Rangers. I know Jeremy would fucking love this right now.
That's cool.
So yeah, and so yeah, I'll talk more about this later. But yeah, so she signed it in pink, and I'm like, how the hell did you find a fucking pink marker that actually, you know, works like that? But it's awesome, and she's a really nice lady and whatnot. But yeah, so we'll have a story about that. It was an awesome thing I was able to pull off with some help from some of the organizers there. Casey Collar was not there. He had just been at TFcon. But Alex Milne was there, and he was mainly the reason why I was helping out there, because I was part of the reason that he came. Is I campaigned for him pretty hard, and he did a couple sketch covers for me. I gave them to him, and I said, look, Alex really likes it when you just say, do whatever you want. Alex loves the freedom. So I said, here you go. Here's Lost Light #1. Here's Optimus Prime #1. Do whatever you want. And he did Lost Light #1. He did Megatron.
Oh,
it looks really fucking awesome.
Badass.
That's really cool.
It is awesome.
Nice.
And then he did Optimus Prime #1. Optimus Prime. And Optimus Prime has got his back turned, but I'm like, it's okay.
Mhm.
Because they go together.
Wow.
Oh, that's
pretty awesome.
I'm
really
like,
awesome. Wow.
Fuck off, Alex. That's amazing.
Mhm.
I will take that any day. Yes. So Alex,
Wow.
he went above and beyond. So pro tip for Alex, if you're gonna get a commission from him, just say, do whatever you want, man. Do whatever you want. Here's a canvas and here's some money. Make yourself happy. And he likes that. There was this is non-Transformers related, but this is a sketch cover from the creator of one of Canada's foremost superheroes, Captain Canuck.
Huh.
This is a sketch from Richard Comley. He was at the show, and I picked this up, and he signed it. And this is also the signature from one Leonard Kirk, who did who's been working on all new Wolverine, and he did the layouts. I think some of the layouts on the book.
Have you been able to get the version of that book without the gradient going on at the top?
They were giving them away for free. There was tons of them around.
So why do you have the one with the gradient?
It was the newest. The other ones there, I didn't care. I really just picked one. I let him pick.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there was lots. You want to get a Richard Comley sketch? They're everywhere, man.
No, I want the non-gradient cover.
Well, you should have said something. They were there. There was lots of them. They were giving them away for free, literally.
You should have known that they were there and told Darryl to get one.
I know. It's at the end, it's your fault, Charles.
Lastly, I picked up. Well, I had these going into it, and because at the convention, Neil Adams was attending, and Neil Adams is a legendary artist, works mainly for DC, and started back in like the 60s or something like that. The guy is a fucking legend. He's drawn some of the most prolific comics ever. Some of the images of Superman and Batman have been seen on t-shirts and hats and posters and stuff, and you'd think that's a pretty awesome image. I've seen that since I was a kid. The guy fucking drew the image when he was, putting them in comic books back in the day. So I picked up some books. going into the con, thinking, you know what, if I can get one of these signed, that'd be great. I don't know what he charges. He charged a lot for a signature, but I was able to get both of these books signed. I had to sell some comics at the show to afford it, but I got Green Lantern number 85 signed by Neil Adams. This is one of his books, the Speedy on Drugs book. So there he is up there, Neil Adams. And then this is a Batman, or actually it's Detective Comics number 408. And he signed it as well. This has got Robin slowly disintegrating in Batman's arms on the cover.
Where's the signature?
Right down there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. And
I mean, you
and
did pay for it. You should show it.
Sorry. Yeah. His table was insane. It was a massive booth, and it was right next to Alex Milne's booth. So Alex had the opportunity to talk with him, and it was pretty neat to see them interact. Yeah, I think that's probably all I've got. Who knows? I might stumble across something else, but I'm gonna hold it at that for today.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Trips to the Store. Thanks everyone for watching. Again, check out our podcast, Transmissions, at www.transmissionspodcast.com. And if you enjoy the show, consider becoming a Patreon supporter. And with a monthly donation, you get access to lots of goodies, behind the scenes chat rooms, and access to listening to the show live every week if you're a Patreon supporter. And we've got some swag. We send out some occasional physical goodies as well. So lots of good stuff. And then we've got the special podcast, Transmissions Declassified. It's a special monthly show only for Patreon supporters.
Spelled my name wrong.
It's the American spelling.
Then you're wrong.
Anyway, we'll see you next time, everybody. And thanks Andrew for joining us this week, filling in.
Hey,
for
no
Jerry.
problem. Thanks for having me.
Listen to Alt Mode for stories from London, Ontario Comic Con.
Do what Darryl said. Bye, everybody.
Later.